On the 24th of December 1999, Indian Airlines flight IC-814 took off from Delhi from Kathmandu in Nepal at 4:30 Indian Standard Time. 37-year-old Captain Devi Sharan was piloting the Airbus A300 with 176 passengers and 11 crew members on board. With the flight running 2 hours late, passengers were eager to reach home in time for the Christmas celebrations. Instead, Pakistani terrorists would hold them hostage for the next 8 days. As soon as a plane entered Indian airspace, 5 masked terrorists got up from their seats and ordered that the flights be diverted to Lahore in Pakistan. But after landing in Amritsar, Lahore and Dubai, it was taken to Kandahar in Afghanistan on the 27th of December. On the 31st of December, the hostage crisis ended after India gave in to the demand of the hijackers and released 3 dreaded terrorists from Indian jails. It was a week of national humiliation for India. Jaswant Singh, External Affairs Minister in the Atal Bihari Vajpayee government, escorted the 3 terrorists, Maulana Masood Azhar, Omar Sheikh and Mushtaq Zargar, to Kandahar from Delhi in a special aircraft to secure the release of the hostages. The Vajpayee government had been torn between the demands of the families of the hostages for their safe rescue at any cost and the hijackers demanding their colleagues' release. After a series of missteps and mishandling of the situation, the Indian government caved under the pressure from the terrorists. On the last day of the year, as the world waited to welcome the new millennium, the hostages arrived in Delhi in a special plane. There was also one casualty during the crisis. 25-year-old Rupin Katyal, who was on the Kathmandu-Delhi flight after spending his honeymoon in Nepal. He was killed by the terrorists on the day the plane was hijacked. Looking back, experts believe that the government had a chance and opportunity to negotiate with the terrorists when they forced the aircraft to land in Amritsar for refueling. The government, however, took too long to act, and instead the plane took off and landed in Taliban-controlled Kandahar, limiting what India could do. The only option then was to exchange the terrorists for the hostages. Vajpayee had had the ability to think out of the box and pursue a nuanced foreign policy. He was also capable of taking risks to achieve national objectives, as he had done during the Kargil War only a few months earlier. But his ability to take risks in national interest was found wanting during the hijack crisis. He was bruised and wounded by Pakistan's actions in Kargil and during the hostage crisis, which couldn't have taken place without Pakistan's complicity. Yet Vajpayee, like a true statesman, didn't give up hope in exploring ways to improve relations with Pakistan. "18 months later, in July 2001, he invited Pakistani President Pervez Musharraf for a summit-level meeting in Agra with a view to finding a lasting solution to the Kashmir problem. He didn't hesitate to engage with Musharraf, who as the army chief was the architect of the Kargil operation. After 2 days of delegation-level talks and 3 one-on-one meetings between Vajpayee and Musharraf, the Agra summit ended in a fiasco. Musharraf walked out of the summit in a huff as India continued to press Pakistan to end cross-border terrorism as an essential condition to resolving the Kashmir issue. Pakistan was to stab India and Vajpayee in the back again in December 2001, with Pakistan-based terrorists attacking the Parliament building in Delhi. India and Pakistan stood on the brink of war as Vajpayee mobilized the army in retaliation. This was the end of Vajpayee's tryst with Pakistan. In 2004, Vajpayee lost power to the Congress, but his far-sighted foreign policy, ability to look beyond the Indo-Pak discourse, and his bold yet pragmatic initiatives and his legacy was carried forward by the next Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh.